Hello, everyone. It's so wonderful to be with you again. It's a very, very hot day here in Michigan, and well, okay, I guess we can deal with the 90s because winter is long and winter is cold, and just for emphasis, winter is long. So let's enjoy the heat while we can. Our gospel this morning is from Luke chapter 12. Jesus said, "I came to bring fire to the earth, and how I wish it were already kindled. I have a baptism with which to be baptized, and what stress I am under until it is complete. Do you think I have come to bring peace to the earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. From now on, five in a household will be divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. They will be divided, father against son, son against father, mother against daughter, daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law." He also said to the crowd, "When you see a cloud rising in the west, you immediately say, 'It is going to rain,' and so it happens. And when you see the south wind blowing, you say, 'There will be scorching heat,' and it happens. You hypocrites! You know how to interpret the appearance of earth and sky, but why do you not know how to interpret the present time?" The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, O Christ. Well, so while I was thinking about this text this week, I came across a story about a woman whose 8-year-old son came to her one day and asked, "Mom, do you love God more than me?" Now, this woman was very active in her parish. She was steadily growing spiritually and was deeply committed to God. Her son looked at her, waiting for an answer. "Yes," she replied, "I do." As I replay that story in my mind, I hear Jesus' words from today's gospel. "Do you think that I have come to bring peace to the earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. From now on, 5 in a household will be divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. They will be divided, father against son, son against father, mother against daughter, daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, daughter-in-law against mother-in-law." Because of the boy's question and his mother's answer, there is now division between mother and son. I suspect that the boy experienced this division as diminishment of the relationship, maybe even rejection. The mother, however, understood it quite differently. She knew that the fullness of her life and who she was, including her motherhood, had to find its primary identity and meaning in God, and not in her son. Only then would she be able to fully love her son and be the mother he needed and the mother she wanted to be. Our distinct identity as persons is given by our various relationships: biological, natural, social, and political. These include our relationships with family and friends, the natural environment, our work, our country, our beliefs, and things we possess. Some of these relationships are tangible and associated with people, places, or objects. Some are not so tangible, but no less real. Our spiritual relationships, beliefs, and attitudes, for example. Think of all the relationships each of us has, regardless of whether we judge them to be as good or bad, healthy or unhealthy. Taken together, this vast complex of relationships makes us, you and me, the persons we are. But ultimately, only one of these many relationships can finally and completely be the most significant and divisive for us. This one relationship makes us uniquely who we are. For example, if I were to decide that my relationship with my mother is the definitive one, then all my other relationships will be seen and lived out through this one relationship with my mother. I will try to live her life through mine. Her life will become the lens through which I see and relate to others, the world, and myself. That one relationship will be decisive for who I am. It will become the criterion for determining and incorporating all other relationships that contribute to who I am as a person. The one relationship that ultimately determines our identity is the one to whom we will give our existence and life. Jesus' relationship with the Father is what ultimately determined his identity and being. He freely chose that one relationship above all others. That does not mean he rejects all others. Rather, all his other relationships are mediated through his relationship with the Father. Jesus' choice brought about division with the religious leaders of his time, with the world, and also with all who chose differently. That is the choice Jesus sets before us today. Who or what is the determining relationship that gives you your identity and being? What relationship matters so much to you that you allow it to shape your life and give you identity? Maybe it's your kids, your spouse, your work. Maybe it's your parents, your church, God, or even your country. It is a choice we make over and over, day after day, as we respond to and enter relationships. It is a choice that always brings division. Do you think I came to bring peace to the earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. This is not the Jesus we are used to, and probably not the Jesus we prefer. We are drawn to the water-walking, miracle-working, dying-for-me Jesus, the sweet baby Jesus asleep on the hay. This fire-bringing, family-dividing Jesus makes us uncomfortable. God knows we already have more than enough division on the earth. We don't need any more. We are divided socially, racially, economically, politically, religiously, not only in our own country, but throughout the whole world. There is division in marriages and families, in the workplace, in our schools, but this is not the division that Jesus brings. The division we read about in the papers and see on the news has nothing to do with Jesus. It is not Jesus' doing. We humans have caused those divisions by our choices of relationship that ultimately determines who we are and how we act. And if we are truly honest with ourselves, we've made some bad choices. Getting our life turned around means learning how to interpret the present time and choose again. It means choosing the Father as the primary relationship that finally determines who we are and what we do. If we choose the Father as that one relationship, then it means our parents, children, spouses, or friends do not determine who we are. It means that our jobs, our country, our politics, our possessions do not create our identity. God does. Those relationships do not have to end, but should exist within the context of our relationship with the Father. There will be new dynamics, new priorities, and oh yes, new divisions. Choosing the Father will bring about division. Jesus said it would. It is not, however, a division that kills, oppresses, or separates. The division Jesus offers is about growth. He is growing us up into the fullness of life and holiness. Regardless of our age, we are always in the process of growing up. Growing up is a difficult and often painful work. Division is the way of life and growth. Consider for a moment the miracle of physical life in your own body. Recall watching a child grow. Modern science has revealed that growth is the result of division at the cellular level. Growth and our physical bodies are a result, then, of division. Go into a home where a teenager lives. On the surface, you may see conflict between parent and child, but at a deeper level, it is really about division. A young person is discovering his or her life and identity apart from their parents. It may not be fun, but it is absolutely necessary for life, the child's and the parents'. Just as division offers physical and emotional growth, it also offers spiritual growth. Jesus is calling us to grow up and bring the division that makes that growth possible. For our part, we must re-examine our relationships and the priorities we have given them. We must choose our relationship with the Father as the one relationship that finally gives us our truest and most authentic selves, our identity. This is the division that loses nothing and gains everything. This division does not diminish or reject. Instead, it offers wholeness and perfection. It is the division that transforms our lives, makes sacred all of our other relationships, and maybe, just maybe, heals the world. Do the math. God's math. And all God's blessed people say, Amen. And with that, dear friends, I leave you with this blessing. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Have a wonderfully blessed week.